Here now with the Cardinal right-hander Kyle McClellan. And Kyle, what a run right now the Cardinals are on. And, when you look at what's going on right now, they're really doing this with some key injuries. Of course, the ace goes down, Adam Wainwright, John Jay. That wrist really hasn't been right since it was surgically repaired in the offseason. And now you go forward without Matt Adams. How much concern is there right now over Adams, you think?
Well, I think just generally, if you look at the injuries as a whole, I mean, at some point there's going to be a breaking point. They haven't reached it yet. The team has so much depth, and they run the bases well. They have good defense. They can hit. They can pitch. The bullpen's strong. They can do a little of everything, so that they've been able to cover for it. Matt Adams, I think, is a pretty big blow. Obviously, he's struggled lately, and we all know that. But keep in mind they signed Reynolds as a guy off the bench, and so now he's going to be exposed into the everyday lineup. And he's been outstanding up to this point. Can he continue that going into the everyday lineup? Only time will tell. But Adams is a guy. He's a young guy. Left-handed, has a lot of power. And look, throughout this guy's career, he's always been able to hit. So at some point, I think he was going to figure it out and be a big boost to this team. And now, you're relying on a guy you brought in for your bench. So that they're going to have. Maybe in July, they're going to have to look at this possibly as an opportunity to go out and get an upgrade at first base.
Yeah, we've kind of discussed it before, and I think people always wonder about, is this a time maybe you start working in Molina at first base? Do you start getting him reps? Do you start trying to find a way to save those knees a little bit? Do you find any advantage in something like that, knowing that you would love to have his bat in the lineup if you don't play him behind the plate? Is this the time to try something like that?
I don't think your gain at first base is enough to cover your loss at home plate to lose Yachty, and I hope that makes sense to you. But you're going to lose so much more behind the plate with Yachty by moving him out of there that I don't think it's worth it. I mean, what he does for the staff, I want to keep Yachty right where he's at, and if he maybe once every couple of weeks if he needs a blow and you want to keep his bat in there, I understand it. But as far as a permanent type deal, I don't like it. I like him behind the plate.
And as we look ahead to the weekend, you have the Dodgers coming in here, the Brewers. There's been a real rivalry with the Dodgers, and especially at playoff time, and they'll miss Clayton Kershaw. But what are your thoughts on L.A. coming in here?
Yeah, LA's been good all year. It's going to be a playoff type series. It's a playoff preview, and so it's a good opportunity for the Cardinals to kind of they have this great record, and now. When you play a team that's of equal caliber as you, and you can go ahead and win the series, that really sends a message to the rest of the league. So they get them, and then they get to beat up on the Brewers, and then they get the Dodgers again. So it's going to be an interesting, week and a half here on the schedule.
Final thought with you, Kyle. I want to ask you about that bullpen. You have so much experience out there in that bullpen, and when you look at this Cardinals pen, there was a lot of concern, I think, for a while there about the amount of work that was
right.
Or the load that was being given on the guys out there. Do you see that starting to lighten up a little bit?
Yeah, the starters have been going deeper. Look, you got to get 6 innings out of your starters, and now Lyons was giving them 2 2/3, 3 innings, and that right there is what was really killing them. For me, Jaime Garcia is a big component of that because he's a guy that you can count on to go out there and give you 6 innings, and even on his games where he's not his sharpest, he's still his stuff is so good and moves so much in the zone that he gets a lot of quick outs, so he's able to go deep in the game. And if he can give you 6 innings every time out, that's a huge boost to that bullpen.
Well, Kyle, of course, we're always going to check out all your videos online, and we'll continue to get your expert analysis week after week right here on KMOX.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kyle.